Good afternoon, curling fans. Welcome to the A, B, and C first, second, and third event finals of the 66th Empire State Women's Bonspiel. Coming to you live from high atop the broadcast studios at Ardsley Tower. We'll be getting the festivities underway in just a moment. We'll have a bagpiper pipe out the final event curlers. And games will be starting in a few minutes, so stick around.
Good afternoon. Are we on? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the finals of the Empire State Bonspiel.
It is indeed the finals. And on our featured sheet, on the middle sheet, sheet B, we have the first event finals. And meeting on the first event, we have the Burlington Golf and Country Club from Burlington, Ontario.
That's correct, yeah?
The skip is Kathy Locke. Eileen Culhane plays vice. Liz Allen is second, and Eva Page is lead. Kathy Locke throws the first stones, however. And their opponents this afternoon are a team from Nutmeg in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Nutmeg 2, skipped by Diane Muldowney. Vice is Liz Brown, second of Elizabeth Falsetti, and lead is Kayla Russo.
And over on sheet A, we have the B event final. The teams of Rochester 3 against Utica 2. Rochester will be throwing the yellow rocks today. And on sheet C, we have the C event final with Brickhouse throwing the yellow stones and Nutmeg 1 throwing the red stones.
So in all three of these, these final events today, we have 3 Nutmeg teams are all in finals this afternoon, I believe. Nope, that's not true. We have 2 Nutmeg teams in the finals right now. We had another Nutmeg team that was in the previous event finals, I think. Joe's in charge of keeping that track of that stuff. So-So Joe. They hung some signs on the scoreboard and by the window of the warm room and on sheet B between numbers 8 and 9 on the scoreboard. You see that? Need new glasses? You want to borrow my glasses?
I see it, but I think I need binoculars.
I don't know what it says. I was going to ask you if you know what it says.
I have absolutely no idea what it says.
Okay, we'll send somebody out to figure out what that sign says.
Yeah. That we can do. Well, let's see. We're going to settle in for some action here and see what's going on.
Well, so far, a bunch of stones in play, nothing in the house.
A lot of red stones in the front. Looks like a draw. Looks like it's coming in.
Still comes to rest just outside the 12-foot. So Burlington is throwing the yellow rocks and Nutmeg is throwing the red rocks. Easy way to remember that is Diane Muldowney is the one in the red sweatshirt throwing red rocks.
It could get confusing because she does have yellow hair.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, we're not going to go there. Okay. That looks like they're calling for a tap. Very good position, the stone's away. A little too heavy. It looked like, let's have it.
Well, maybe this is the, they had another game just before this. Pebbleton nipped the ice, and maybe it's the first in slowness for everybody a little bit, trying to get their weight down.
Looks like Diane's planning on drawing in. Trying to hide behind those front guards. Shots away, the sweepers are on it. 3 on it right now. Trying to drag it in. And it comes up shy.
So everybody here is still hoping for a little bit of a tap up.
Looks like Burlington is going to tap again.
It's nice that they separated their rocks there, so all the reds are on one side and the yellows are on the other side of the center line. Well, maybe not the center line.
Shots away. The weight looks a lot better this time. kiss off
of
that rocket was there, but unfortunately doesn't split the second rock in.
No, but they did make it a bit harder for Diane's last shot here.
And yeah, it's sitting pretty well hidden behind the front guards.
So based on the ice that Diane has called, presumably this is a draw behind the yellow in the 12-foot.
And the shot's off.
Although chasing after pretty good, so maybe she's going for a tap-tap.
Oh.
She does go for a tap-tap, but I don't think that had the desired outcome.
No, actually, Diane just put another Yellowstone in the house. And it looks like, yes, Burlington does have hammer on this.
So Burlington has hammers, so they're now in the first
Sitting
down,
two.
sitting 2 and shooting for 3.
Well, the shot's off. Sweepers are on it, and looks like it will make it into the house. So Burlington picks up 3 on the first. And I believe initially we had the colors reversed for these two teams. Nutmeg is in fact throwing red, and Burlington is throwing yellow. Up. There's a nice center guard. That rock goes sailing through the house. Okay, we have an update on sheet A. It looks like Utica has picked up 1 in the first. And I can't see sheet C. And if they posted the score. Yes, it looks like yellow.
Looks like yellow has 1, so that would be Brick House.
Brick House picked up 1, also in the first. Like Nutmeg is trying to throw it down to the yellow. It's in the forefoot. Actually taps it back quite a bit. Back to the 12-foot, and now sitting in the 4-foot. Nutmeg is drawing in. Oh, thank you, John. I didn't know these things.
Yeah, you have to talk into the microphone.
Into the microphone.
Yeah,
Talk, if you're talking to the microphone, people will hear you.
Yeah, they'll hear you better than when the microphone is down at your waist or something. Yeah. I think we confused. I think we distracted them. Hogged a stone on B.
Okay, back to the play-by-play. I can now hear myself think. And Nutmeg takes out the start. Or we're just enjoying some technical difficulties at this point in time. Trying to get the electronics sort of hooked up. So Diane's shot just flashed through, moved one of her stones back a little bit too. So at this point in time, Burlington looks like sitting at least 3. Shot's coming in. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a raise. And moves a stone back to the 4 foot. So at this point, Burlington is sitting 4.
And right now, being announced in the I'm back. Sorry to startle you, Joe. But, Nancy Clancy, our Bonspiel coordinator for this event, along with Gudrun Sablo. Nancy is currently announcing the winners of the, what'd she say, 4th event? 5th event. Either that or Mike is just waving at me. The 5th event. the final that we had earlier today. And that would be the team skipped by Pauline Davies. We got the sweep. And they beat Utica 3, who is
which is from Utica.
which is a team from Utica. Utica 3, Liz Kaido. The other final that was held at 11:30 this afternoon and finished up at about 2 o'clock was the fourth event final between Schenectady 3, and that was the team. Who the heck was Schenectady 3? Well, it was Schenectady 3 and Rochester 1.
Back on B, we had a slight distraction with the award ceremony, and looks like Burlington took that end, stole the end. I'm not sure exactly how many they stole because they haven't put up the score yet, but we'll find out soon.
Okay, now I'm back with some real information from the previous awards that they just gave out. So in the fourth event final, it was Nutmeg 3 versus Rochester 1, and the winner of that event was Rochester, skipped by Carol Wood. So the fifth event between We Got the Sweep and Utica 3 was won by We Got the Sweep, skipped by Pauline Davies. And there were, in fact, 3 Nutmeg teams in finals. One of them is playing right now on this center sheet, on our feature sheet, Diane Muldowney's team. Nutmeg 3 was in the fourth event, and Nutmeg 1 is playing in the third event final over on sheet C, skipped by Maura Cockey against Karen Luckey's Brick House.
It looks like Burlington took 5 in the second. So now the score being 8-0 on sheet B. It's a nice draw on the part of Burlington. They're now sitting shot. Diane's calling for a draw in. The Nutmeg shot is a bit heavy and a little wide, and so took out one of their own rocks. They're sort of nestled behind the Burlington stone at this point in time in the 4 foot, but it seems that Burlington is still outcounting them. Oh, bad luck. Tap their own back a little bit. Giving Nutmeg a bit of an advantage. Then again, everything is behind the tee line, it looks like. The Nutmeg shot crashed on the guard, opening up the front for Burlington. And that's exactly what they're calling. They're calling a draw right into that pocket right there.
So to answer Seth's question, we believe the signs say big hug, Sandra Henderson, I think is what they said. We don't know exactly who Sandra Henderson is, but by one of those teams is sending her big hug. So thanks for watching, Sandra Henderson. Everybody here at Ardsley is sending you big hugs.
And hey, welcome, Seth Altman. Glad to see you joined us today.
Yes, last night Seth said he couldn't be here in person to heckle us. So he was going to heckle us from his cozy couch at home.
Letting his fingers do the walking across the keyboard.
I hope it's his fingers. So Nutmeg putting up a, I think they put up a, what they put up, a high guard.
Yeah, it does look like they put up a high guard. Relatively easy to get around, but assessing the situation. Burlington with a little hit and roll, and now sitting on the button.
And this will be Diane's first skip rock. Is she going for the double here? Just nose hit on that yellow, go right between the, knock out the yellow at the back of the forefoot.
I'm not sure.
Go through the hole there.
Exactly. I mean, she might try to sit on that one, move that yellow back a little bit, sit on the button. Sort of freeze to it would be a good thing, move it back, and sort of like lock it in there. Be a little difficult to get that out once if she does that. The rock's away. Sweepers are running alongside of it, so it's coming down, and it looks wide, and doesn't quite do the job. But
taps her own two red rocks back out of kind of behind all the yellows that are in play in the forefoot. Doesn't quite nudge that yellow at the back of the button far enough to outcount that either.
And it looks like Burlington is looking to guard that and possibly steal another point. Oh, a slight overcurl. Just sort of bumped the guard.
So a chance for Muldowney to get on the board here.
At this point, basically all she has to do is tap that red rock and send the Burlington stone out the back. Knocks away, and it seems to be over curling. And will
just crashing into
crash
the
the guard.
So Burlington looks like they
picked up another
one in the third end.
A steal of one, making the score 9-0 after 3. Checking in on sheet C, the score being 2-1. Oh, Nutmeg over Brickhouse. Coming up, I believe, to Skip Stones. And it looks like Brickhouse is sitting 3 at this point in time. At least 3.
It does look that way. And not sure what the second end score was over on A on the second event final. So as soon as we get a score update on that, we will update everybody else. Why, yes, Seth, there is a men's spiel in February. The 84th anniversary of the McKay Douglas International Bonspiel at Ardsley Curling Club, February 20th through the 23rd.
And yes, I believe there is spots available still.
And there are still some spots available. So if you get your men's team together, then go online and register at ardsleycurling.com. You can be part of the excitement at the 84th International. Actually, I guess 84th International doesn't make sense. The 84th Annual McKay Douglas International Bonspiel.
I couldn't see before, but there is a red stone on sheet C that is red in the forefoot, and because it's red, we can't see it. So actually, Brickhouse is sitting 1 at this point in time. And we have an update. They finally hung the score on sheet A. So the score is now 3-1 with Rochester in the lead.
And a
that
little
they're
bit.
trying to draw, and it's a little bit heavy and ended up going through the house.
Burlington's not taking any chances and is sweeping that through. Burlington, I think, was calling for a guard out in the top of 12 foot. Looks like they get a little bit of a guard on the tee line. Right in the 4 foot.
And I think from this angle, it looks like they might be biting that one up on the top as well.
Muldowney looking to come around the outside of those 2 guards. Come onto that 4 foot, a little bit heavyweight. Tap it out.
That was for the sweep, and they're just trying to get it over the hog line. And they're working.
Liz
And they're
Brown is
working.
working
And,
pretty hard there, sweeping.
and they got it over. Fortunately, the guard is not a real big help to Diane at this point in time.
No, that guard isn't going to do a lot of help.
She needs points, and she's down quite a bit.
Just Burlington just putting up another yellow stone out in the, well, a little heavier than they wanted, I believe. In fact, maybe a lot heavier. Back house, through the house weight.
Yeah, John, those back house guards don't seem to work very well.
No, they keep the hacks protected.
Yeah, that's about all they do.
That's about it, yeah. Maybe that was intentional. Maybe they're at the point where they're throwing rocks through the house and just keep everything clean.
She seemed to be pretty speedy today. It's quick to get up to speed.
So our ice crew has worked diligently all weekend to scrape and prepare the ice and give them a nice playing surface. And looks like it's maybe a little bit faster than people are anticipating.
Yeah.
A lot of stones going through the house.
A big thanks to go out to our ice crew, Martin, Tim, and Dave for doing the scrapes between the ends, between the games. Okay, it looks like Burlington got control of their weight.
Yeah, I think that's where they've been. Looks like that's where they're trying to put that guard for a couple of stones now.
Yeah, I think so. I think they finally got it. It's making it tough for Muldowney.
So she's hoping that we're going to get a lot of curl off of that and coming through that gap between the yellow stone that was just placed on this, just to the center, just off the center line, and the one that's at the top of the 12. Curl into the 4 foot.
Stone's got some weight to it, but it is slowing down a bit, and it is starting to move. And
looks like she might clip that yellow, and maybe
does
she'll
look
get
that way.
a
And
lucky.
oh my gosh, yes, she did. And actually just moved that in a little bit further, but she is sitting second rock at this point in time.
Shout out to somebody's mom out there with a goo mom.
Ooh, Burlington with a high guard. Just makes it over the hog line.
And over on sheet C in the what's that, third event final? Looks like Nutmeg has, or Nutmeg and Brickhouse are tied at 3 apiece, or at 2 apiece after 3 ends.
This is Diane's first shot. It's out wide into the on the edge of the sheet, and it doesn't seem to be coming back. It just seems to be riding the line.
Oh, looks like she got way out there into the
And
slow
it's-
side, and it's
a nice corner guard, but a little far out.
I think it never hit that never hit that edge line, so it stayed in play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got out into the slow ice out on the side of the sheet and
Yeah,
just stayed out there.
Looks like Burlington wants to close the gap here. Just sort of sit comfortably with one. And it looks like Mom is playing on sheet A for Utica.
Yes, I have narrowed it down to Cindy Brown, Liz DiGeronimo, Barb Felice, or Cafe Palazzi.
And the guard is
Oh,
up.
I'm gonna take a guess here that it's maybe Kathy Pelosi based on our based on the initials of the poster. MNP. You think that P is for?
Could very well
I don't
be.
know.
Could very well be.
I don't know. Getting closer.
Burlington did get that guard up, and Diane is sitting with a fairly big mess in front of the house at this point in time. A lot of yellow rocks. She's sitting second shot at this point in time, and yellow is sitting just kissing the button.
So Diane Muldowney on sheet B has a mess of rocks out in the front of the house to contend with. Trying to come around the outside, hope that it curls in. Staying better in towards the
It is
house on
starting
this
to move,
rock,
but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Doesn't look like it's going to move enough to outcount that Burlington rock.
And it comes to settle in the 8-foot, not quite enough. So that's another point for the Burlington. Another steal for Burlington. So with the score now 10-0, you go into the fourth end. Actually the fifth end. stone is over curling. He's going to sit on that guard. Yeah, taps it, but not enough to put it in the house. Burlington has one stone in the back of the 8-foot. Looks like Nutmeg did a drawing down to it. It's a little heavy. It's probably going to knock it out. And yes, it took it out. Looks like Burlington is trying to reciprocate, and yes, taps it back. And then Muldowney would like to, I think she's trying to hit and roll and sort of hide behind those guards.
So she'll tap that back. It's a little bit undercover from the side that they were drawing before, but come from the other side, potentially draw down to that back one again. Well, that'd be on an unknown side of the ice. So Diana's just going for a...
And it looks like it's going to crash on the guard.
And tap a yellow into the top of the 12-foot as well.
And comes to rest just on the edge of the 8-foot. Like Burlington is just trying to put another one in. And it comes to rest just inside the 8-foot. Out counts.
Out counting and guarding the yellow at the back of the 4-foot.
Yes. Burlington is sitting 2 at this point in time.
And of course the double is there. Although the double potentially will take out Diane's red stone that's at the back of the 8-foot.
Looks like it's going to be narrow. It's going to hit.
Oh, and another crash into a yellow stone. Take out her own yellow, take out her own red on the edge of the 8-foot. Moving a little bit closer to the 8-foot, but still struggling to get around those guards.
Burlington is calling for another guard.
And over on sheet A, in the 4th end, Utica picked up 2 to tie
3-3.
Rochester. So we have a couple of very close games on A and C in the 2nd and 3rd events. Still playing the 4th end on sheet C.
And it looks like a tight guard. It's going to just sort of freeze to it. Diane's calling for the takeout. See if she can double those out. And possibly even get a triple. Because, you know, the triple is always there, Jack.
The triple is there. Triple is always there.
Crashes on the guard.
Crashes on the guard again. Over curls down the center toward the right.
Getting closer to the button, though. She is
moving closer to the button. A stone's diameter at a time.
Yeah.
So Burlington will be going for a takeout on this red. And if they make the takeout and get a little bit of roll to the center, I think they have to get the roll to be 1, 2, and 3. Because that red rock at the back of the 4-foot or back of the 8-foot on the right side.
Rocks away. Sweepers are there,
and looks like they're narrow now.
Just a little bit over an over curl, little tick. No harm, no foul.
So I'm not sure what this, whether the call here is that she's going to try to come in off of her, if she's going for a takeout. I guess she must be going for a takeout on those two yellows, but that's not going to get her a whole lot. This is Diane's first skip rock.
I believe that it is, and I don't know what she's trying to do here. I'm not quite sure of her strategy. She could draw down behind and try to like settle in on the one that's in the back of the forefoot. But instead it looks like she's going for a hit. And the rock is away.
Like
Sweepers are on it, and
she does get the run back and takes out one of those yellows. Still leaves a yellow as shot rock at the back of the button, and Burlington is just going to put up a guard for that one.
yeah, put up a guard. It's a little bit off the center line, a little bit usable as far as that goes. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Diane to get in there. And to update on sheet C, the score now 4-2 with Brookhouse in the lead.
So Nutmeg has an opportunity here. Draw down the center, curl into that Burlington rock on the back of the button, right on the center line.
And she does have backing as far as that yellow rock sitting there goes.
If she can get rid of that rock in the center, she picks up 2, maybe 3. It's hard to tell from the overhead cameras in the warm room whether the red rock at the back of the 8-foot is outcounting the yellow at the top of the 8-foot.
The rock is off, and it's it looks like it. Nope.
Oh, another unfortunate break for Nutmeg, and Burlington picks up another 2.
Another steal of 2. Which brings the score to 12-0 in the 5th.
Well, viewer Nathan out there wonders whether there's a certain amount of ends the sponsors are willing to have them play. I guess he's wondering about this sort of lopsided score on sheet B, whether they're sort of contractually obligated by their sponsors to play at least 6 ends. But speaking of promotions,
yeah, actually, speaking of promotions, on February 20th through the 23rd, we have the Menspiel, the McKay Douglas. It's actually the 84th McKay Douglas International Bonspiel held at the Ardsley Curling Club. There is room, and if you have a men's team, please go to our website at ardsleycurling.com and sign up.
Sign up today. There are still some spots left for some additional teams. And that event is just 1 month away from this weekend.
Actually, it is, yes.
So Nutmeg's last stone comes to rest in the 8 foot. Looks like Burlington is calling for a yellow stone to sit right on the center line, just to the side of the center line, right next to that stone. Make it hard to get anything else into that scoring area in the center of the house.
Weight looks a little bit heavy.
It might come to settle at the back of the 8 foot. Back of the 12 foot. Back line. Out of play. The announcers are staying occupied by guarding ourselves against these. There are several vicious dogs roaming around in the warm room this afternoon.
Yeah, they're just all over the place. It's a madhouse here.
Yeah, who let the dogs in?
Who
Who let the dogs in?
Well, we have a moment in breaking the action here. I'd like to give a shout out to Jane Murray, who had an injury this morning prior to getting here, and our own Judith Kelson is subbing in for her on sheet C for the Nutmeg team. We wish Jane a speedy recovery if she's listening in, and our best to her.
Yeah, we wish that she recovers quickly, gets back to curling, at least feels better. Garth. Actually, Karen Luckey's Brickhouse team has a sub this afternoon as well. Amy Costantino subbing on that team. That's also on sheet C. And the nutmeg stone that was in the house before is gone, but replaced by a new nutmeg stone, this time a little bit deeper on the tee line.
Over on A, it looks like they're measuring.
It does look like they're measuring.
It does. It looks very much like them, because considering the measuring thing is out there.
Yeah, since the measuring device is out on the ice, and there's two people hovering over it and looking very carefully.
Mm. And it's red.
So it looks like Utica has pulled ahead by, who knows how many stones. I don't know if they were measuring for one or if they were measuring for a second or third
We'll
stone.
find out, and they're up by 1.
Utica has pulled ahead, and they're now leading Rochester with a score of 4-3 after 5 ends. Meanwhile, back on the A event, Nutmeg has put another rock up in the 4-foot area, but it looks like Burlington is trying to dispatch that one.
And they get at least 1.
Yeah. Luckily, everything was close enough there that they were able to tick off their own yellow a little bit and ricochet into that red and get rid of it. Did open up Burlington's opportunity to attack that red stone in the 4-foot from the opposite side, perhaps, depending on what Nutmeg does on this red stone. Who is barking? That's one of those vicious dogs that we were talking about. That's actually a Ziva. That is Mr. Duke's dog.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Duke is here. Quite a crowd here today watching the finals.
If you're in the local area, come on by and come down and watch the last couple of ends live in person.
No, unfortunately for Nate, Garth is not here. His owner did make an appearance, but the only dogs that are here are Mr. Duke's dog and my wife's dog.
Is that, I don't know what your dog's name is.
The dog's name, Lola.
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 That's right.
And Duke's dog's name is
Ziva.
Ziva.
And the way that I remember that is it's similar to Zika, which was the virus that was going around a few years ago, I guess. And but it's not Zika.
It's not. No,
and it's also not that malt beverage called Zima.
Oh, okay.
But it's in that same family of
the
Z-I,
Z's.
pick a letter A.
Yeah, the Z family.
So Ziva, yeah. Usually have to run through the entire alphabet. Ziba, Zika, Zifa.
Zebra,
yeah. Finally say, oh yeah, it's Zika. Ziva. I got it wrong again. Well, we would put Garth on the mic, except Garth is not the dog here who's barking.
Right.
So Seth, pay attention here. There's more than just curling going on the ice.
This is Diane's first rock of the end. She has an opportunity this end to actually get on the board. Starting the curl, curling in. And a nice shot. Now she looks like she's sitting too.
And Muldowney comes up with a nice shot. Let's see if we can take the... Hard to see those red stones on the red 4-foot circle, but there are 2 red stones hiding on the 4-foot, out counting
That's the camouflage stones. That's
The camouflage stones.
Yes. It's chameleon stones. Lola's, to answer Seth, Lola is being quiet at this point in time. We might be able to get her on camera later, but at this point she's sitting patiently and quietly. Burlington is drawing in, and it not quite enough to get there and move those rocks out of the forefoot. It looks like Nutmeg will pick up 2, possibly.
Oh, could pick up 3 here.
Could pick up 3 if she draws in.
Although getting into the forefoot and outcounting that yellow
is going to be a little bit tricky.
It's going to be tricky. So based on Nutmeg's Vice, looks like Muldowney was a little wide. 3 here, 8, 7.
And it looks like she might be a little light also.
Looks like
but
she got a little wide and out into the frosty side.
Yes,
of the
but it looks like
house,
Nutmeg is on the board with 2.
Nutmeg does pick up 2. Okay, so 2 here, 9 in the 7th, and they're right back in it. Right, Nathan? Oh, and we have Ziva here, who is a little microphone shy, but perhaps Ziva's handler here has anything to say about the quality of the curling this afternoon.
Well, the excitement on the main sheet of the main game that was going on was happening on the edge of my seat all afternoon. Unfortunately, one of the teams has just declared. That's a cricket expression in case you don't know what it means. And that's the end of the day, pretty much. I'm going to hand you back to Uncle John.
Well, thank you, Mr. Duke. As always, we enjoy the color to commentary. We'll get that translated into English later on.
Well, geez. Well, it looks like Looks like while we were interviewing Mr. Duke, we had handshakes on B. The game seems to be over with Burlington taking the lead. Finally, the final score for the A event: Burlington 12, Nutmeg 2.
And we will stay with the game for a while longer and give you updates on sheets A and C as they progress. Right now, over on sheet C, Brickhouse says, "Nope, come on, sit down." We have a new commentator in the booth. Over on C, Brickhouse, Karen Luckey's team, has taken a lead over Nutmeg with 5-2 after 5 ends. About halfway through the 6th end coming back. And on sheet A, it looks like Utica in the lead, 4-3 over Rochester, and still a couple stones to play. I think this is the first skip rock for Utica.
Yep, looks like yellow has hammer on sheet A. Get a piece. Okay. Sheet C, we got a little wick over there. Oh, I can hear better now. Seems a little confusion on sheet A.
A little bit of a equipment shortage down at the far end.
Equipment malfunction.
Equipment malfunction. So Karen Luckey over on C calling for a tap up on her Yellowstone.
Came out a little hot.
A little hot, and it looks like it might be a little wide. It's not going to hit nose on to tap it up. Instead, it looks like it's going to.
Little piece, not so bad. She's sitting. She's sitting shot now.
She is sitting shot. Oh, that's a tough one to say. Sitting shot.
Say it 3 times fast.
Yeah. More Cockey skip of Nutmeg team. Just looking to take that Yellowstone out, narrow up the score a little bit. That also looks like it's thrown a little bit wide. It's going to crash into that yellow. Oh, okay.
Catch that back red?
Nope, does not catch the back red. Gets a yellow out of play, though. A lot of red stones in play, but yellow is the counting rock at the moment. In the top of the, or just at the edge of the 8 foot in the 12.
So sheet A's got their first skip rock here for the yellow.
That's Rochester. And that's Corinne Dagen throwing skip rocks on Rochester team. On sheet A.
Ooh. Close, but no cigar on A. Opened up the shot a little bit.
So over on A, it does look like Utica is still sitting 1 and 2.
Yep.
The back of the house, both of those Yellowstones are at the edge of the 8 foot, just biting the 12. And the red stone, the Utica stone at the back of the house, has quite a bit of white that we can see. Well, actually, let's see. So that camera is rotating.
I think I agree, though. I think the red has got it just the hair.
And over on sheet C, it looks like Karen Luckey's first shot rock tapped up the Nutmeg stone on the center line to sit in the 12 foot. So this is coming up on more Cockey's first rock over on C. She's going for that yellow. If she can take that out, she'll be sitting in a pretty nice position.
Yeah, sitting 5.
Really putting the pressure on Brick House.
Sheet A is doing hammer right now. A is still 2 red. Sheet C's got to come over a bunch. It's going to probably tick the guard. Yep. Doing some sweeping on sheet A. Come on, hard, hard, hard. It's just a little too light. on sheet A, Utica 2 takes 2 in the 6th end. Up by 3 now. And looks like on sheet A, you have the second skip rock for yellow. Just trying to throw up a guard here to keep a shot. Sheet A. It's in a pretty good spot. Yep. Guess the only shot at this point on sheet C is a tap. On sheet C, we're lining up for hammer. Gotta get the tap here. Starting out pretty good on sheet C. I think it's got it through the hole. I think they got enough. No. Oh. Just missed that on sheet C.
Yeah, tapped up her own.
Yeah. Didn't
Red
quite
a
get it
little bit.
square.
I think she tapped up the yellow.
Yeah,
Or
didn't quite hit it square.
Well, a lot of red rocks there in play, but unfortunately, it looks like
Yellow got
picked
the
up
steal.
one.
Yeah.
So yellow gets to steal one. And on A, Utica has pulled ahead after the 6th end for a score of 6-3. Maybe you already said that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
So catch up. We have a bunch of people coming in after the Bonspiel is open for Learn to Curl sessions.
Oh.
So a mix of Empire State Bonspielers here. Some players been coming to the. I don't think anybody's been coming to the Empire State for the entire 66 years that it's been playing, but I think there are a lot of repeat contenders here.
Well, I was chatting with the ladies from Rochester who won the 4th event, and she had said she had been here for many, many times, but the first time she won the tournament. So good for the team Rochester.
Okay, good. So the Empire State rotates between different clubs in New York State. It's hosted by one of the New York State team, or one of the New York State clubs each year, and it rotates. But the event itself is open to clubs from outside. As you can see, that the A event final, the first event final, was won by a team from Canada, from Ontario, Burlington, Ontario.
Yeah, we had another team from Manitoba that came down too.
We did have a team from Manitoba. Came all the way out here from Manitoba just to have some snow last night.
Yeah.
Could have stayed home and done that.
Fortunately, everybody made it down the hill okay.
Everybody made it home.
Yeah, it just made it feel like curling last night with the snow coming down.
It did. Snow coming down outside, the karaoke inside. That's
Karaoke was fun last night. If you ask Jim Bill, though, and me, but the ladies were having a good time.
Yes, Jim Bilodeau can belt them out.
Well, he did quite the number at there.
He's got a nice voice.
Yeah.
He is good.
And when you sing a duet with him, it's very easy because you just got to lip sync while he's doing
Just
it.
lip sync and he does the rest.
Exactly. You just got to pretend like you're singing. It's funny, when Bob came in this morning, he was putting on music videos, and I thought they were going to go do karaoke again, but he was having some tribute to female singers that he wanted to put up on the TV today. It's like these ladies didn't get enough last night. They want to do it early in the morning. Sheet A, Team Yellow needs to get back in the action there. Rochester 3. Not sitting too bad at the moment. Got around the guard on sheet A. I'll tuck it in there. Okay. Looks like they're going for the double on A. Well, lining up like a very heavy draw on sheet A. Probably going to come down to it. Oh. Stuck it behind there, and sheet A. Good shot.
And now that we have an empty sheet in the middle, we're not going to be blocking the view. If we
No.
happen to mention that we have the 84th annual McKay Douglas International Men's Bonspiel coming up right here at the Ardsley Curling Club.
Coming up soon.
Coming up soon, just 4 short weeks. Actually, I think the weeks will actually be the usual length, 7 days each. In just 4 weeks from now, February 20th to the 23rd, in the year 2020.
And I know registration's open till the end of the month, so everybody needs to sign up and get teams in there.
There are still some spaces left, and registration is open. So head on over to ardsleycurling.com and sign up your team now.
Got to come back on sheet A there. It's a little wide. Not going to be quite right. We get a little piece. right, going back to sheet C, we're in the 6th end here, and looks like they're trying to draw in here to get some points in the house. Yellow is sitting 1. It was a little light there on sheet C. Didn't quite make it. Got a little bit more coverage there on sheet C. Still sitting 1. Pretty close game. Looks like on sheet A they're either throwing up a guard or they're trying to come down to it. A little bit of both. All right. Top 12. There's a little coverage. Yellow on the right there. Leaves the draw open, but if they're ambitious, they'll attempt a double here. Sheet A. So it looks like they're going to attempt a double here on A. It's going to be a tough shot.
There is no try, only do.
Exactly. Thank you, Yoda.
They're going to make a double on. Oh, no, they're not.
No, they're going to draw to the button on this one.
That is not a double takeout weight.
No.
Oh, and nice draw. Stops just behind the button.
Looks like sheet C is down to their skip rocks at this point. And we're in the 7th end.
We are in the 7th end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
It's a little narrow. Got to go around the stones. Sheet C. Tick.
Yep. I guess that was Nutmeg's first skip rock.
Yeah. They made an amazing shot this morning to get into the finals, I tell you. They were down 2.
Yes,
and they shot 5 in the 8th end.
Saw that game. They were down 2. Had to get 3 or 2 to tie. They also started their game late a little bit. So according to the rules of the Bonspiel, the late start incurred a 1-point penalty.
Yeah.
So essentially, started in a 1-point deficit.
Fortunately, that wasn't the deciding moment in the game. Actually, it was good. Unfortunately, they had a team member that got hurt this morning before they were trying to get to the game. So, trying to scramble to get a sub down here. We had one of the Nutmeg subs come down, and then one of the club subs helped out after that. So, fortunately, it wasn't too big a deal. They got the 1-point penalty, but they still won the game, and it wasn't based on that 1 point. So,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So brick house sweepers are sweeping pretty hard. Is going to squeeze into the 8 foot or the 12 foot. Nope, comes up a little short of the house, which is just fine for them. They're ahead by 3 or 4. They're ahead by 4 right now.
Yeah, they got one biter that's in the house. The rest are just outside.
Yeah, that biter that's just to the side of the center line that you can sort of from the camera view, it actually looks like it's pretty well into the 12 foot, but it's really just biting a couple inches into the 12 foot. The one on the left side is outside the house completely.
It looks like they finished the 7 end on an A.
They did, and unfortunately none of us was paying attention here, so we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I would say that Rochester scored. I'm going to go out on a limb there. Say that Rochester scored at least 1. And I'm basing that on the Rochester player throwing first.
That makes a lot of sense.
How's that for some clever deductive reasoning?
It makes it a beautiful game for the 8th end. Sheet C, they're doing their hammer at this point.
Might hear a little bit of applause in the warm room now as Bonspiel host Nancy Clancy presents the awards for the first event finals. The team from Burlington does have to head back to Ontario this evening.
Looks like Yale got the end on the 7th end over there. Getting the event champions, getting their pins and their trophy right now. Congratulations, Burlington, Ontario. Coming back. Got a piece, a tiny piece. All right. Just enough on sheet A. Probably got to tap there and see a little bit. Looks like red is still shot though in the back of the house. Almost got the turkey in sheet A. Halfway in the button.
Unfortunate shot by Nutmeg over on sheet C, where their rock tapped up one of the brick house rocks right into the top of the 4-foot.
Yeah, they got some ground to make up on sheet C, but you got the raise maybe.
Need 5 to tie.
It's a lot of stones.
Is a lot of stones. They are running out of stones. And on sheet A, we don't know how many. They haven't hung a score yet. We know that Rochester scored, but we don't know how many, whether it was more than one.
Yeah. Well, even if it was one, we're still 2 apart, so still in it on sheet A.
But if it was 3, it's way exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Tied, right?
Then it's a very exciting 8th end for sure. Go, Judith.
Perhaps not quite what they were going for, but they did eliminate one of the yellow rocks.
Still keeps them in play.
So it does give them a better opportunity to tap something up.
They got 3 stones left on red to throw. So
over on sheet A, they hung a score. So Rochester is indeed 2 stones, 2 points down, coming home in the 8th without the hammer. So they're going to have to steal one or steal a couple for a tie.
It's got to slow down here on A. Keep it in play. All right.
Utica still keeping that red stone protected in the back of the forefoot. Looking to put up another guard out in the top of the house. Looks a little bit heavy.
Yeah, I was wondering what the shot was there. It's like,
although they're coming down to that back yellow, so not too terrible. Probably would have.
Yeah, they're sitting 3 now at this point. 3 red.
So again, Rochester is kind of running out of stones. They have 2 out of play completely, 2 at the top of the house, which would be kind of hard to tap up. Split in. All 3 Rochester stones are, or so all 3 Utica stones are out counting the closest Rochester stone. And back on C, they did try to go for a tap up there. Did tap up their red stones, but tapped one of them out of the house.
So first skip rock on sheet A.
And Brickhouse with a pretty conservative shot, just a center line guard. Not guarding a whole lot there. But Nutmeg is going to have to get rid of some yellows.
Sheet A, they were debating whether to go for the takeout or to just sit on it. I think they're going with the takeout.
So they're coming down through the center.
Yeah, they're going through
between
that
this
hole.
Yellow on the right side and the red in the center line.
No. Oh, I think it just snuck through. Wow. Nice shot on sheet A.
Really tight shot on sheet A.
They threaded the needle on that one.
They did, just squeezed by both of those guards.
And they're still kind of hiding behind the red stone there too, so not too bad. Sitting on the button, pretty much.
So is Utica going to, doesn't look like they're going to try and follow that down and take that out. Just going to draw down and put something out in front. Get something else in the forefoot.
Yeah, it's just going to leave the draw. And after that, if they don't make it, it's shake, sheet A.
A few more rocks to go over on sheet C. Karen Luckey throwing her first. Oh, that's 2 skip rocks.
Actually, sheet C, yellow's got 3 at this point.
Bill does have 3, but yellow is ahead by 5.
Yeah, a lot.
So red kind of is pretty much out of stones at this point. They have a couple in the house, 2 In fact, they are completely out of stones unless they
Yeah.
plan on somehow splitting in that high guard.
It'll be a
Down at
tough
the bottom
shot.
right of the screen. Outcount all the yellows that are in the house. Keep the 2 reds that are in there and split in that red and keep their 2 next skip rocks.
Yeah, I
Get those
think
in
we're
the
I think
house.
we're getting close to the end of both of these 2 games at this point.
Now, at this point, they may have conceded defeat and are playing the rocks down because they have to get to this end of the ice anyway.
Yeah, you might as well play the 8th end. You're already halfway through anyway.
Damn it! They paid for an entire Bonspiel. They're gonna
Get every
get
stone
every
in.
last stone in.
Get every stone in. I would do the same.
Oh, we do have handshakes
Oh,
over on C. So we spoke a little too soon. They have done a little bit of math and are choosing to push the stones back down. So in the, I believe that's the 3rd event. Let me confirm that. In the 3rd event, Karen Luckey and Burkhouse, team from Ardsley. It's the winner over Nutmeg 1 from Bridgeport.
So it looks like Sheet C is final at this point.
And while we were talking about C, over on A, Utica did get rid of that yellow stone that was in the 4-foot.
And looks like
And
they're shaking
we have
out.
handshakes over there as well. Yellow Rochester team couldn't get enough stones in the house to outcount Utica. Ran out of stones on their last skip rock. And Utica does not have to throw their last rock and is going to win.
Congratulations, Utica, the B event winner. Congratulations, Brickhouse, for the C event winner. And John, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Jim, for joining us here in Ardsley Studios, high atop Ardsley Curling Tower. Do I have that backwards? The Ardsley Curling Studios,
There you go.
high above Ardsley Curling, out in the Ardsley Plaza. Ardsley Curling Plaza.
The
in
Ardsley
New York.
Curling Network. It's like
This is the
it's-
Ardsley Curling Network.
It's Curling Sunday in America.
Curling Sunday afternoon in Ardsley,
Yep. In New York.
in New York.
Yep. Well, thank you for everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. It's been a pleasure. Special thanks to Gudrun. Special thanks to Nancy Clancy, all the volunteers, the ice people. It's been a great weekend. Everybody seemed to have a good time. So can't wait to do this again 4 years from now.
And don't forget, we have the men's Bonspiel, the McKay Douglas, coming up in a month from now.
Yep.
So go to ardsleycurling.com and sign up your men's team now. There's still a few spots left.
Yep. And then
You've been watching the 66th Empire State Bonspiel from Ardsley Curling, a USWCA circuit event.
thank you, everyone, and
Thanks
have
for
a good
watching.
night.